Charles Weinraub here, AKA the Handsome Homebuyer, AKA Captain Permit, AKA
El Judío Maravilloso,
AKA the soon-to-be 2020 LLS Man of the Year. And today we're going to talk about a very, very hot topic, evictions. A ton of people have been reaching out to me lately saying, Charles, evictions, talk to me about evictions. A lot of people are buying houses at auctions, grossly overpriced to begin with people in them, notes, etc. Slim pickings out there. It's very, very hard. So people are doing what they normally wouldn't do or normally wouldn't feel comfortable with. I buy houses with people in them. I've been doing it for years. It makes sense when done properly and you do the equation in the right way and you account for all the costs associated with doing that. So what I want to do is quickly go over evictions in New York, how it works, give you guys some pointers, give you a referral of someone who's great. This way you know exactly what you're in store for before you go out there and possibly overpay for a property that you're gonna need to do an eviction, okay? Evictions are a pain in the ass in New York and they're getting crazier by the day. Rule of thumb is the further west you go, the more ridiculous it is. The further east you go, the easier it gets, all right? So, for example, the 5 boroughs, FML, fuck my life, total nightmare. I did an eviction in the boroughs not that long ago, took 15 months. By the time you get the people to the court, they immediately get 6 months worth of free rent. They do order to show causes. They call old age organizations. I mean, you name it, it gets done. These people stay forever. You have to be very, very careful when you're in the boroughs. People know how to work the system, and even if they don't, they're able to stay for a very, very long period of time. So just know that before purchasing an occupied property in the boroughs. As you go east and you head on to Long Island, it gets a little bit better. So let's talk about Nassau County. Nassau County is so-so. Things you need to know. Once you get somebody into court, and we're gonna go over the new regs in a minute, the little nuances that you have to understand in Nassau County is this. It takes a little bit longer for a number of different reasons, which we'll go over in a second, but the biggest expense is that you have to store the people's stuff. So once you go through the whole proceeding, you pay the attorney, etc. They're finally out, the sheriff comes, or whatever it is. If there's anything left in the property, you have to store it. So you have to hire a moving company, and you can't just hire any moving company. The county has a list of approved movers that you can call. You call them, you come down, and they essentially have you by the balls. You have to pay them whatever it is that they want. They take whatever it is out, even if it's junk, old furniture, broken things, whatever it is, they take all of it. They have to load it onto a truck. They have to take it to their storage facility, and they have to store it for 90 days. This can get very expensive. I've spent as much as $6,000 storing people's garbage that end up getting thrown away 90 days later. So that's something you really have to look out for. Suffolk County, much more manageable. The judges out in Suffolk tend to be a little bit more lenient, but the best part is you do not have to store people's things. So essentially what happens is when the sheriff finally comes down, you have a moving company come there, or you basically yourself, if you have a construction company, an insured entity with employees can come out, they can remove the contents, they put them on the curb, and then special pickup comes and takes them away after X amount of days. So you don't have to incur that fee. So it's a lot better. But the amount of time it takes to get these people out is a very, very different story, and I want to educate you guys. So if you have a squatter, so let's say you have a situation where you buy a house and the people never had permission to live there, they were a legitimate squatter, and you're gonna have to prove this. You can serve them with a 10-day notice. I serve them today, get the hell out in 10 days. If you're not out, you're immediately in court and you're working to try and get them out. Now, if they haven't paid, let's say they were in there with permission, they were once a tenant, and they haven't paid, you have to serve them with a 14-day notice. The thing that sucks is, anytime during the eviction process, if they end up paying that back rent, you have to let them stay there. So a lot of times people don't want to do that. So essentially what you will do is you will serve them with a 30-day, 60-day, or 90-day notice. This is new as per the new rent laws in New York. If someone has been living in the house for a year or less, you're required by law to give them a 30-day notice. If they've been living in the property for 2 years or more, 2 months, 60 days notice. If they've been for 3+ years, you have to serve them with a 90-day notice. So I want you to understand this. 30, 60, 90 days notice before you can even bring them into court. Once they're in court, they can get it postponed because they don't have an attorney. Then they can get an attorney. The ones that are skilled know how to play the game. They get an attorney, they get an adjournment because they have to meet with the client. This kind of stuff can drag on and drag on and drag on. So just so that you know, if you're in the 5 boroughs, you're looking at a minimum of a year, 1 to 2 years as a range. If you're in Nassau County, you're looking at 4 to 6 months, easy. If you're in Suffolk County, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 6 months, sometimes more depending on just how savvy these people are. Believe it or not, there are career squatters and career tenants who go out there and know how to work the system and can stretch it out. I've heard of people staying in properties for up to 5 years, depending on how they work it. So if you're someone that wants to be a landlord, know before you go. If you're someone that's gonna go to auctions, bid online, bid at the steps and pick up properties with people in them, know exactly what you're getting into. And just as a referral, shameless plug, I have an excellent eviction attorney. I use him on everything. He's done dozens of these for me. Eric, GTFO, which stands for Get the Fuck Out, Habib. You can always reach out to him, 917-783-0632. He does an unbelievable job. All he does is landlord-tenant stuff in the boroughs and Long Island. All right, so best of luck to you, and know before you go, before you buy a property with somebody in it, just figure out and know exactly what it's gonna cost you to get them out before you buy. If you wanna see more videos like this, if you wanna get a great education from the 9 best of the best real estate investors on Long Island, stay tuned for the workshop. Follow us on social media at @handsome_homebuyer or @Captain_Permit. And obviously, click the button below and subscribe. Thank you.